Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, it is I, the one and only Pac-Man here once again, and I'm back for yet again for the likes of the Mexi Toys videos once again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Wii Party for the Nintendo Wii. So yesterday, we did manage to able to win through the third mode in terms of the forms of the party games mode. That's what appears to be Me of a Kind, and all in all, we actually did a pretty close victory, just like the forms of how it does it on the previous two modes, and also this mode is also known as Swap Meet, for those of you who lived in North America, which like I said before, since during the forms of it yesterday. So, today, for this video, and especially noticeable in the next video later, because like I said before, this will be the double uploads for this point today, because we're going to be going through the gamble-based modes, such as Spin-Off and Bingo. So of course we'll get started with Spin-Off first because, you know what I'm saying. Give the wheel a spin. Winning minigames is the way to earn lots of medals. And this particular game mode will take you about 30 minutes. So hopefully we're able to actually get that mode during in time for specifically roughly 30 minutes tops. So, well, actually, gotta think about it. Let's go and select Waluigi for this point because we just feel like trying to do all that. And thus, because of our fact that since he still hasn't got his own game just yet, so because of this though, yeah, I felt incredibly bad for him for able to not have his own game after all. So because of this though, yeah, let's just go ahead and get started right here by once again selecting advanced difficulty and stuff like that. So because of that though, I just need to make sure that I need to able to see new Miis decide to show up for certain capacity. So because of this though, sometimes it might take a while just because certain Miis have been randomized every time you select a difficulty, which like I've already mentioned about this earlier, so yeah, that's not much right to home about. So I suppose we should probably go for this selection here. So because of that, we'll see Oscar alongside with the forms of Namui, I think that's what her name was essentially anyway. And also on top of that, Ursula, as far as I'm concerned. Hello, and welcome to Spin-Off. Yeah, we'll hear the rules quickly. In Spin-Off, you spin the wheel to compete to win medals saved up in the bank. The wheel causes lots of fun stuff to happen, like playing minigames and winning medals instantly. You'll compete in 4-player battle minigames as well as 1 vs 3 battle minigames to win medals. After 10 rounds, the game will go into extra time until somebody gets the medals left in the bank. The player with the most medals at the end of the game is the winner. You know, it's kind of like, let's just say, Globetrot, except the fact that the biggest difference is this time that we're no longer going to be able to walk around in a board-shaped environment. So instead, you're able to actually, hopefully, God forbid, try to able to get something for this wheel. So because of that, oh, really? I got myself negative 300 from this very start. Sorry, Waluigi. I do apologize. Anyway, so a few things we want to explain for this point today, and that is the fact that today's day is of course the 19th of June today, in this case in 2022 today. Not much else is going on at the moment, apart from the fact that, well, relatively speaking, originally I was expecting to try to able to mention something related to, you know, the reviews so far for the sake of the forms of Lightyear movie. But, let me know in the comments down below to see if, well, how the fact that if the Lightyear movie just managed to receive so well for reviews or fans alike, because whenever I looked up on it for certain reviews, mind you, I ignored the spoiler elements to the table because, well, obviously this is a new film after all, so because of that, I was really hoping for, 300, medals to receive, but, apparently we're literally so close. So yeah, with the forms of the spin-off itself, basically as you can see, there are quite a few events that's been happening. Like for instance, with these yellow tiles, this actually represents bank. So as a result, it adds up the tally of the actual bank itself. And if it's the blue mark spaces, basically that you're able to receive the medals. And also with those red spaces, which actually gives you a negativity, such as for instance takes away some of your medals. And the green spaces will allow you to able to compete in the mini games. So, like for example, we have a darker green spaces that actually says 4-player mini games. So basically, you just have to play, you know, those kinds of mini games and stuff like that. And there's also the light green variations of certain spaces. Like, I think it's more accurately for 1 versus 3 minigames, or dual minigames, or to be more specifically, 1 versus 1 minigames, I'm pretty sure. So because of this though, yeah, I think that's how this mode actually plays out. In fact, I do remember playing this mode so many times as well, because gotta think about it, because like I said before, this is the reason why I prefer this game over the likes of how it does it on Wii Party U, in my opinion. Mainly because, well, like I said before, the gameplay on Wii Party U just feels a bit all over the place, in my opinion. I mean, sure, we do have some of these cool mini-games for sure, but it's just that most of the time, it's just the fact that I'm not exactly great at the actual mini-games in Wii Party U, just for me anyway, so... Anyway, so let's see if we can able to get something in here, like, let's just say, add more 500 medals, so, and as you can see, since it reaches for about 10,000 medals, or more than 10,000 medals, basically, Party Phil is going to mention about the fact that if they somehow manage to reach that amount, basically, they'll have to do a mini-game. So because of this though, it looks like we're now on to 30,900 medals. So, now I get the feeling that we might able to actually classify for compete in a mini-game at some point soon. But, let's just see what happens if, Ursula gets it. So in this case... Oh, just about. So, looks like it's time for a bank battle. So... And whoever wins this particular minigame will be able to receive so many medals. So, feels like we're gambling for money, of course. So, and of course we're going back to zombie attack. So, let's see who's gonna be the zombie this time. Once again, it's Sonic! Jeez, what is up with Sonic's turning into a zombie all of a sudden? Well, at least as far as I can clearly tell because of how the fact that, well, relatively speaking, after, you know, Chip and Dale movie where basically they receive ugly Sonic and ugh, it just looks disgusting on him. Which that's a good reason why, that in the Sonic movies, specifically the first film and the second film, that the design looks so accurate. So, yeah, that's as far as usually is concerned with that stuff though. And except this time around though, that it looks like we're actually gonna go a bit of a slightly longer length in terms of, you know, the rest of the zombie tag and stuff, but luckily for Waluigi, at least as far as I'm playing as Waluigi me, that way I can able to actually just to, like, get some brief air, or to be more specifically, have some more breathing room. So, victory! However, there's only one winner if you receive most of any other medals. Bank Bonanza! Yeah, 30,600 medals. So he'll be rich by then, and hopefully he'll ask Nintendo to able to announce another Nintendo game for based off focusing on Waluigi, but I have no idea. It's just for a memes conspiracy, I suppose. So yeah, if the minigame was over, and if you manage to receive those medals, basically it goes back up to 500. Eventually in the later rounds though, it will able to actually change up a bit slightly. As you can see, that we now stumbled across, well, dual spaces, or 1 versus 1 minigame spaces. And on top of all that stuff though, there's going to be some other spaces that I'll show you in just any moment's notice. So, springtime. It's a spring to the finish. Boing, they're first to win. Alright. When your spring compresses, shake the Wii remote to jump. If you shake at the right time, you boing. Okay, seems like very simple standard minigame and stuff like that. Like a standard fair. I actually kind of think about it. Whenever the first time I play this minigame, I actually been very, very great at this minigame. But every once in a while, though, is the fact that I'm not exactly pure master at it. But I'll give it a shot as soon as I'm able to actually do some very good, precise timing with all that boing springs and stuff like that. So. Didn't beat a new record, sadly, but regardless of such though, I still managed to win regardless. So, another thing I would like to explain, although I'll get to more that in a moment, because if you somehow manage to win, in any of those 1 versus 1 mini-games, at least assuming if you land on that specific space, basically, you're able to steal, someone else's, medals, specifically half portions of those medals, depending on how much they've got at the moment. Like, for example, Oscar got about, previously he got about 1,100 medals, but then if I somehow win the actual 1 versus 1 minigame against him, basically I'm able to receive 550 medals, so... And speaking of such though, unfortunately for Oscar though, that he somehow managed to able to, well, lose a whole bunch of medals for himself. So because of that though, because he lands on that particular negative space, such as a half or 300 or anything else like that, so... Alright, so I believe we're on the halfway point in terms of the regular rounds, so... Yeah, let's give that a small spin. Well, assuming if we're able to... No! Ah, got screwed. Ah, darn you, game. Darn you. Oh, and there's also the forms of those, the rainbow spaces, which actually functions as lucky spaces, where... Basically, if you come across into... Okay, so we stumbled across a bank battle game almost instant, so... Let's go and do that anyway, so... Darn it, it's this minigame again. I don't know about you, but I'm not a big fan of this minigame, clearly because of how the fact that sometimes those meteor rocks, or those asteroids, just sometimes screws me up. Like, for instance, it just keeps on, like, keep on pushing me back, and then let anyone else wins instead. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of this one. Especially noticeable because, well, it's so hard to tell if I was able to try to avoid, you know, certain asteroids and stuff like that, so... oh well. Thank Bonanza for her anyway. And she's probably in first place right now, so I definitely need to consider able to actually let her try to land on that particular negative red space if possible, but it's so hard to tell. Alright, so 600 more bank. Or 600 medals in the bank, I should say. Alright, let's see what she gets in here. She gets roughly 300 medals out of the bank. Alright, round 7, so... Alright, let's see. Maybe I should probably spin it just onto the right. At least we can able to double that up. Alright, let's see what Oscar's gonna do. He's probably gonna go and aim for... Oh, for the love of God, he always loses. I'm so sorry, mate. Hi. I got to admit though right away is that sometimes this particular minigame mode can sometimes feel a bit too difficult to win sometimes. And she gets a lucky chance, so... And as you can tell, since she's now onto the lucky chance space, this means that she actually come across into 3 different kinds of spaces. There is a half, win, or a cross. If you get a cross, you get nothing, but if you get a half portion of the specific medals. And I believe if you aim for the win, basically you win everything. So yeah, it kind of reminds me of the forms of certain lucky space events for certain Mario Party titles, as far as I'm concerned. For well, you know what I mean. Alright, so looks like I think Ursula's gonna do against with yeah, someone she's gonna aim for the first player, and I think I should go for no because I'd like to see them two try to compete in 1 versus 1 minigame, so... Well, this minigame is actually kind of cool though. But it's a shame that we can't able to actually look upon the instructions of this minigame because, well... It's just kind of unfortunate because, well, we just have to watch the computer players just do this minigame without a doubt. And also, something's worth mentioning, I suppose I forgot to mention about. Unlike in Mario Party 9, specifically in Choice Challenge, and also the majority of Mario Party 10 for I would say minigame tournament mode and Wii Party U for, you know, certain minigames and stuff like that. Basically though, is the fact that, relatively speaking though, that the game automatically forces you to able to skip those CPU matches, to able to actually make things a lot faster and quicker. Whilst in here though, you can have an option to able to actually watch the computer players play, or specifically that you can skip those kind of stuff. So yeah, because honestly though, just like it evolves of how it does it on let's just say Mario Party 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I think also on the DS as well. Well, I have no idea why I'm just trying to able to point things out. Oh, actually gotta think about it, not DS, but to be more specifically, you know, Mario Party 2, 3, 4, no, not 4, because 4 doesn't have dual spaces after all, but 5, 6, and 7, and 8, that you do have the ability to able to watch the computer players compete each other in a dual minigame, so... Alright, Smile Snap, a new minigame. Take a picture of as many smiles as you can. You only get one shot at it, though. So wait for the right moment. So... Press A to snap your picture. Each me will only smile when looking towards the camera. So yeah, so many of those snapshot picture-based minigames. Like, we have one from Sorcerer Snap, and another one which is Shuttle Pup, which you get out to able to aim for so many dogs and stuff like that, or specifically try to take so many pictures of that particular dog. And then, as far as in this particular minigame goes, we have to aim for so many smiles. So, sometimes this minigame can be felt a bit tricky though, because you have to rely on timing and stuff, but it knows what it is, I guess. Bank Bonanza! But this time around though, although since we somehow managed to win, both me, Oscar, and Ursula of all things, if 3 players manage to win, basically though, they have to divide it into 3. So because of this though, we have to share the amount of medals, so... I guess that's something, I guess, especially noticeable if you try to win something as far as this is concerned, but hey, at least it's something. So it's now reset to 1000 again, so... Alright, let's see what she has to do for this point right here. Alright, 600 more medals into the bank as it goes along. And it looks like Ursula's gonna land on... Ouch! So sorry. Especially noticeable because you're doing pretty well, but then next you notice is the fact that that particular unlucky event just somehow screws you up. Oh, jeez. Alright, let's see if I don't land on that particular... Okay, we're doing another 4-player minigame, so it should be alright for my part, so... And hopefully I should be able to win so many of those medals again, so... And it looks like Oscar is gonna go and choose Ball Brawl. So we've already played this before, so hopefully we should be able to actually win so many medals if possible. Alright, let's begin. So yeah, another thing I would like to explain is the fact that I'm presuming that Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes demo just recently came out, so yeah, I have no idea why I try to explain about this, honestly, just because, well, despite I haven't exactly looked upon that much of Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes in my own time, clearly because of how the fact that, well, at this point in time is the fact that we only got about specifically 4 days left now until that Sonic Origins will be releasing, so because of that, yeah, it should be pretty promising, all things considered. Especially notable, I did the actual, the voting system recently, for the sake of the forms of what is your absolute favorite, Sonic the Hedgehog compilation games. Well, to be more specifically, it's mainly focusing on, the majority of Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, 3, CD, and Knuckles, or something like that. So as a result of that kind of stuff, though, let me know in the comments down below. Or, to be more specifically, though, if you want able to look upon the forms of my voting question, that there are 4, actually gotta think about it, there's actually 5 different options that you can able to select when it comes to the forms of those best, or what is your favorite Sonic the Hedgehog compilation games in the past. To be more specifically, Sonic Gem, Sonic Mega Collection, Sonic Mega Collection Plus, Sonic Gems Collection, and you name the rest. Alright, Delivery Duel. There are 2 of you and only 1 pizza customer. Keep an eye on the map and race your scooter there first. Hold the Wiimote horizontally and tilt it left or right to steer. Press 2 to accelerate and 1 to brake. This minigame is kind of fun though, especially noticeable you're actually going to be competing against with someone in a race while trying to drive around onto that particular town square, and then it's up to you to able to deliver the pizza first before your opponent does. So I'm pretty sure the map layout might be a bit randomized each time when you're when you're able to actually just try to play this minigame. So yeah, forgive me if my commentary is a little bit meh for the most part, because I somehow belching most of the time, which I know is incredibly gross, but still. And I somehow win because I know exactly where I'm supposed to go. And she's so proud for my pizza delivery skills, so I should probably able to actually steal his, well, actually gotta think about it. If you somehow manage to win instead of, Oscar, I'm presuming that, nothing happens in terms of new forms if you try to win and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, you know, the other modes for that matter, so either way though, that, well, it makes it a little bit obvious sense that I don't win anything, so I'm okay with that. Alright, so it looks like she's gonna compete against with me in 1 vs 1 minigame, so yeah, she's probably going for me. In Sherbet Scramble, when these sheep hear a bell jingle, they head right for it. Lead as many into your gate as you can. Alright, seems like standard fare. Hold the Wiimote horizontally and use directional pad to move, and press 2 to ring your bell. Gotta think about it, this minigame does remind me of one of those happening events in Mario Party 7 in Windmillville, except the fact that, well, it's obviously on the Wii rather than on the GameCube of all things. And also this minigame also does remind me of this as well, from the likes of the forms of, I would say, Bonanza minigame from Mario Party 6, except the fact that it doesn't take place in a haunted theme kind of environment and stuff like that. So instead, it obviously takes place in the actual farm fields and stuff like that. Finish. Oh, and also this minigame does remind me of one of those minigames that you can play in My Little Pony and Maritime Bay Adventure game, so I guess that makes it pretty obvious for the sake of convenience, that is, so. But since I somehow win that minigame, this also means I don't get anything again. So, again, I'm totally fine with that, especially somehow so far I managed to win this so far, which is also very, very convenient. And speaking of convenience, there's the lucky chance. Well, assuming if I was gonna get so lucky, so. God knows if I was trying to able to hit the, either the win square or the half, so I'll just see what happens there. Oh, so close. Oh well, no big deal. None of my major losses or anything if I somehow hit the cross, so I might be alright with that. And now it's even doubled up, so in this case until the next minigame rolls around, then hopefully we will be able to go across into that eventually, so. And she received 300 medals. Because, yeah, like I said before, that this will be the double upload for this point today, only for today. But as far as the future weekends, as far as I'm concerned, I think, what I'm gonna do, that, after these 2 specific modes, although I'll get to more in a second, because now we're on to the extra time. So in this case though, that, yeah, the thing is not gonna be over until someone gets the rest of the bank, or get the rest of the medals in the actual bank, so. And it looks like I got 300 medals, so that should be good. Alright, let's see if we're able to actually get the last minigame on here, so. Oh, ouch. Feels like Oscar is not having a great time at this rate, so... And... Oh, not again! With all that losing half portions of some of these medals. Jeez Louise, man. Alright, so... Yep, it looks like... Oh, close. So close for able to, well, get away with that particular minigame and stuff like that. Oh, so close. Sometimes this mode can take a bit while to finish, probably because it's all depending on the forms to try to land on that godforsaken minigame spot. So, it might take a bit while, so... Alright, so 300 medals for Oscar, so at the very least he got that. Alright, please a minigame, please. Please be a minigame. Ah, close. Hey. Alright, Ursula, what are you gonna do? Hopefully you'll land on that minigame spot. Yep, we have. So, alright, so 14,130 medals. So, let's see whoever claims this. So... Oh, don't you... Oh! Why'd you have to choose the luck-based minigame over to those two minigames that we have not played yet? Oh, I was really hoping for the shifty gifts or that balloon minigame that we would like to try and play, but nope, we're going back to this luck-based minigame again, so... That really kinda sucks. Okay, looking good so far, assuming that Ursula was out of the game, so... it's so hard to tell, because you can't really tell what's up ahead. Well, we somehow got screwed right there, so thanks a lot, Oscar, for able to choose that minigame for us. I know it still is incredibly luck-based, but... I'm hoping our mouse will win this though, because, well... Well, actually, gotta think about it. Since that she ever lands on so many of those unlucky red spaces for that matter, I can assure you that she's probably not gonna catch up to my 23,000 or something like that. So, I guess that's fine for me, I guess, but it knows where it stands. So, now it's time for the actual winner, which appears to be Waluigi. So in this case, he goes about 23,940 medals. That seems awfully a lot, so he'll be rich by then, so yeah. Now I've no idea why the frame rate seems to dips up as soon as we're able to actually get to a result screen here, but it knows what it is when it comes to like frame rate sometimes, so yeah, look at that little graph right there. I was doing pretty well in, let's say in turn 5, but then until likely, I think it was in turn 7 or 6, that I somehow get down, and then eventually I go back up again, for later turns and beyond, so that yeah should be pretty surprising as far as this is concerned. So anyway, so suffice to say, I think we should probably end things off here, so join me later for more of Let's Play of Wii Party. Is the fact that we'll move on to the final party games mode, and that's what appears to be Bingo. So this will be exciting for the most part, so I'll see you guys later. Later, fellas.